My story goes back a few years, well, many years actually. I grew up in the Midwest in Wisconsin, a pretty healthy family for the Midwest. My mom was a PE teacher, so I've been around health and wellness my whole life. We were an active family, but we were also, Midwesterners. We ate a lot of meat and potatoes, and I don't think I ever saw a beet or kale or anything like that until well into my adult life. But I always considered myself very healthy. I was an athlete. I played a little bit of college sports, and I went to coaching because of some injuries. I actually had back surgery when I was 18, and that's really where my health journey kind of deviated, because I was always used to being, just very fit and healthy until that point. And after having that surgery, I actually developed some chronic neck pain, and I just kind of learned to live with it. It was a very low-grade thing I thought was just part of being an athlete. And then I got into college and was doing my thing. I felt like I had a pretty healthy diet, aside from some of the things that go on in college with partying and living that lifestyle. But all in all, I was a health education major, community health education, so I pretty much thought I had my act together when it came to me and what was going on in my body. And about 2.5 years ago, my friend Kristen, I had moved to Colorado, loved the outdoors, wanted to just keep that lifestyle going, and my friend introduced me to this product called Juice Plus. And with my health background, I knew obviously we all need a lot of fruits and vegetables in our diet, and I realized that although I love to cook and although I was very active, there's no way I was getting that consistent intake of veggies every day. So I just kind of, as a friend, she was starting a business, said, sure, I'll try it, I'll support you, not really expecting anything to happen in my body. And at that point, I would say my husband and I were both going to the chiropractor probably every other week, just for chronic pain and maintenance, trying to take care of those things. I was still very active. I like to do triathlons, and so I would train for a race, and I'd be super fit, and on the outside everything would look good, and I'd stop training after the race and just kind of give myself a decompression time, and I would, within a few months, have put 10 to 15 pounds back on, which I don't think a lot of people always notice because I'm tall, I get spread out. And so I was on this roller coaster with training and loving that and loving food, which has just always been part of my life. But I introduced Juice Plus and didn't, starting out pretty healthy, didn't really notice anything to begin with. And about, I would say 6 months to a year into it, all of a sudden my husband and I were waking up in the morning, and he wasn't complaining about his back, which was an everyday thing. It got to the point where I was like overhearing about his back hurting, and one day we just kind of looked at each other and were like, he hadn't complained about his back in months, and it just took, it took time for those plants to start working in our bodies. And shortly after that, about 6 months after we got married, I got pregnant. At which point, I understand that pregnancy is a whole lot of cell duplication. So I knew all of these millions and millions of cells were being duplicated inside of me to build this little human being. So I really ramped up and started doubling up on, these plants we were putting into our bodies, just because I figured, it would hopefully help that all go smoothly. I'm 10 months postpartum at this point, and I look back at that experience, and it was so profound to go through and have truly, I think, kind of a picture-perfect pregnancy. I did not experience so many of the things pregnant women do. I didn't have swollen ankles. I didn't have, maybe this is too much information, I didn't have the constipation that often goes along with it. I gave birth to a 10.5-pound baby, and I never once had lower back pain during my pregnancy. So all of that inflammation that for years I'd been holding in my body, at that point I had been on the products for about 1.5 years, that inflammation had worked its way out. Not that, we all don't have some to a degree, but I go to the chiropractor now and she doesn't recommend any supplements. I used to go and she'd say, you're deficient in this, this, and this, and I'd go home with three bottles of supplements, that easily cost me $50 or more, in one trip. So now it's been months since I've been to the chiropractor, and for us being active, and especially now having a little one and carrying her around all the time, not to be dealing with chronic neck pain, back pain has been such a blessing. And obviously just having a healthy baby girl who, born obviously very robust, big girl, and she's growing, and every time we go to the doctor she just comments on how amazed she is at her health, and all of those things that go along with their with all the marks they have to meet when they're little ones. So it's really been a blessing for our health. And while I was pregnant, I decided to step away from my full-time job, because I realized I really had that sense that for the first time in my life I realized I wanted to be a mom above all else. I grew up with like I said, my mom was a teacher, so she worked, I mean, she had the summers off, but she was a full-time employee at her school for 30-some years, and I just assumed that was going to be my path in life. I thought that, having a career and helping provide for my family was, just what was expected. And once I was pregnant, I realized that I definitely wanted to be a mom before I wanted to be working for a business or an organization and helping, make their dreams happen. I really wanted to start making dreams happen for our family. So, yeah, Kristen, the friend who introduced me to it, we started going down the business path, and I'm not looking back at all. It's been such an eye-opening experience for me to start just dreaming about our family's future. I never would have admitted it while I was working a full-time gig that, I didn't dream. I thought I had ideas like, oh, I want to go on this vacation or that vacation and do these things, but you only have a week or two a year to try and do that and you have to save up all your vacation time for 2 years to be able to do that trip. And suddenly, I got involved with this community, and I saw the lifestyle that was possible, and it really has unlocked something inside of me that I had closed away for so long. And I want that so bad for other moms, and I'm so excited to be able to share that with them, because there is just endless possibilities out there if we're willing to, work through some of the fear around, we were told to go to college, get a degree, and get a job, and put money towards retirement. And that's just kind of what's been ingrained by our, past generations. So breaking that cycle is a little scary, but once you take the leap and once you're able to do that, from the second you make that decision, life changes and your outlook changes, and it's